Welcome to Grapplefuck everyone. Thank you for tuning in. Like and subscribe as always, please. And we are going straight into one of the main card fights on the Anderson Silva, Uriah Hall on the card, I should say. So it's Kevin Holland, Trailblazer against Makhmud Muradov. Mac is his nickname. Kevin Holland, very well known to the UFC. Very experienced guy, coming off a win against Darren Stewart, which I think he won 2 rounds to 1. I gave the last round to Stewart.
For sure.
Stewart went full roadman on him in that round. So he's 18-5. Makhmud Muradov's 24-6. United States, Uzbekistan, but Makhmud is a Czech citizen. Trains in the Czech Republic. He's giving up 1 inch in height. Kevin's got a substantial reach advantage. That's quite a lot. And Makhmud's got a leg reach advantage. However, I don't really see him throw many kicks. He does throw a few kicks, but not many. Not as many as Kevin anyway. So wins. Yeah, Makhmud's on like a 13-fight win streak, including 2 in the UFC. However, it should be said that the two fighters he's beaten in the UFC are no longer with the UFC. They weren't the best fighters. Kevin Holland has fought some serious opposition.
Sorry, correction there, Woody. He fought Alessio Di Chirico. He's still in the UFC, right?
That's actually their opponent in common. Their common opponent, sorry. They both fought him. Is he?
I believe so.
He's on a 3-fight loss streak, and I heard something about him possibly leaving.
Then you might be right.
Yeah, or I may be wrong, but anyway, he's on a 3-4 fight loss streak. That guy. So he's not the best fighter in the world. With all respect. So yeah, I mean, some of these figures are going to be skewed in favor of Muradov because he hasn't had as many fights and he's fought some low opposition. Let's put it that way. So he throws a lot more than he absorbs. Same for Kevin. Significant strikes. Kevin lands a lot more. Defense, similar. Grappling. Grappling's an interesting one. And let's kind of ignore the stats for Makhmud at the moment. From the fights that I've seen from Muradov, he does have takedown ability, and he, from what I can see, I think he's done sambo or judo because he's thrown some people around. However, I haven't seen any control time from him.
But we're talking pre-UFC, right?
Yeah, pre-UFC. I watched some of his fights. He had a few kind of sambo / judo throws. He's good in the clinch as well against the cage. However, control time, I didn't see anything, and I didn't see anything in terms of BJJ. He's got a few submissions on his record, but against really, really low level opposition early in his career. On the other hand, Kevin's got decent takedown defense. Takedown accuracy is very good, and he's got pretty good BJJ. He's a black belt in BJJ. Doesn't really use it that much because he's such a good striker. But yeah, I mean, that's kind of reflected in that stat there, that he goes for 1.7 submissions per 15 minutes. But yeah, initial thoughts, I think Makhmud was meant to fight some Polish dudes, and Holland's come in on short notice, but Holland's been very busy this year. So I wouldn't really call this short notice.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, his last fight was in September.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think this is a serious step up in competition for Makhmud.
Yeah, definitely. Let's look at Makhmud's abilities. Well, actually, first of all, we should say I think this is going to stay on the feet for most of the fight. I think both will prefer to stand. Kevin Holland may go for a takedown because he does mix it up sometimes. But for the most
He's got
part, I
good
think,
takedown accuracy as well.
yeah, for the most part,
And
I
there's no
think
submission
they'll do
threat.
better on the feet.
Yeah.
So let's talk about Muradov's striking. At first sight, he looks like an amazing boxer. He trains with Floyd Mayweather, and
I don't think he
obviously,
trains with Mayweather. I think Mayweather signed him for some reason.
yeah,
Not sure how that came about.
there's
But sorry,
something
carry on.
with Mayweather. Anyway,
Yeah.
Muradov's got a beautiful jab. Like you look at him throw that jab, you look at him do his footwork, and you think, oh, that's a really, really good boxer. And he really does have a fantastic jab. It's quick, it's sharp, it's clean, it lands. He's got beautiful footwork. So that's all amazing. But then you look at the sort of the other half of being a boxer, right? Which is sort of countering and slipping and ducking and all of this stuff is
Yeah.
completely absent. Completely absent. As a strange paradox. You throw such a beautiful jab, but you're not following that up. You know, you're not countering, right? So if you have a beautiful jab, the whole point is that you're A, scoring points, and B, setting up combinations and counters.
Yeah.
So in his first fight against Trevor Smith didn't counter at all. So
Yeah.
Muradov is just winning by points. Great, he looks amazing. But when he fights Alessio Di Chirico, a slightly better fighter, who is pushing the pace a bit more, who is swinging back, suddenly Muradov looks a little bit more not as sophisticated in the striking department. And when Muradov was getting hit, he wasn't slipping, he wasn't ducking, he wasn't blocking. He was just moving backwards, and he looked panicked. He just didn't know what to do. It looked like he just did not like being hit in the face, which
Yeah.
is very strange to me. It's like, yeah, he's got one half of the boxing fundamentals done, but the other half is completely missing.
I think he's a kickboxer in terms of background.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't think he's from a boxing background. I think
That
he's a
might explain
kickboxer.
why he's just going backwards.
Yeah, exactly. Because
But
a
that
boxer
jab
will
and
be
that
a
foot,
lot more fluid.
but that jab and the footwork is 100% pure technical boxing.
Yeah, I like his jab. He doesn't really follow it up though, as you said. However, he does have vicious ground and pound. He is very aggressive once someone falls to the ground, and he does have a lot of KOs on his record, which is always a danger.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah.
But the danger I see for him is, with that beautiful jab, he can win on points. Actually, no, he finished Trevor Smith, I think, didn't he?
Yeah, he finished Trevor overhand right. Yeah, KO'd him viciously.
Yeah, but the danger is someone like Kevin Holland is going to counter, and Kevin Holland counters. Everything Darren Stewart throws, he was countering.
Yeah, Kevin Holland's a better striker than him. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So when Muradov pumps the jab, Kevin Holland is going to fucking smack him with a left hook, and he's going to follow up. Yeah. And I kind of imagine Muradov just crumbling when that happens, and just completely shutting down Muradov's striking game.
Yeah, that's the problem. I do think Kevin Holland is the advanced fighter. The one thing that I would say about Kevin Holland is I really didn't like that last round against Darren Stewart when he got taken down and just kept there. And I've seen Muradov take people down, but I haven't seen him control them on the ground. And Holland is a BJJ black belt. So I'm not really sure how Makhmud can win this.
Let's get back to the final.
Unless it's a massive punch, which is possible. There's always a 20-30% chance he could just land a huge punch. He's KO'd almost 70% of his opponents.
Yeah.
Or TKO'd. So, but in terms of an overall MMA skill set, I would have to say Holland is a lot more advanced than him.
Yeah, for sure. And Holland throws a lot of different things. It's the jab, it's the combinations, it's those karate-style head kicks. Yeah, the calf kicks, the inside calf kicks.
Yeah, it's from a kung fu background. Yeah, kung fu. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that stuff doesn't really land, but it gives his opponent something to think about.
Yeah, exactly. He's very active. They're both very athletic. Makhmud's very athletic as well. He goes for flying knees and so on. But I just think that Muradov is very inexperienced in the UFC. I mean, he's had 2 fights against not great opposition, and Kevin Holland's had. I mean, look at this. He's had a lot of experience. I mean, his second fight was Thiago Santos. He's fought Mearshart. He's fought Alessio Di Chirico, which is their opponent in common. He's beaten Anthony Hernandez. He beat Buckley, albeit that was on short notice for Buckley. And he beat Darren Stewart. However, Darren Stewart just did take him down 3 times.
Yeah, you mentioned that final round against Darren Stewart, where Kevin Holland didn't have a lot for him. Is that a cardio issue? Because he's been criticised for that previously.
He did look fatigued.
Yeah.
I mean, it should be said that Darren Stewart is a huge man. He's around 100 kilos.
Yeah.
And he cuts down to that weight. I think when he got the call, he was 97, 98 kilos. When he got the call to fight him. And Darren Stewart is incredibly aggressive. So, Darren Stewart taking you down and lying on top of you will tire most fighters out. But
yeah, just on top of cardio.
Looked pretty good. He looked pretty good against Buckley in the 3rd round. He was still throwing.
Yeah.
But then Buckley didn't take him down. So maybe the issue for him is if someone takes him down, he gets fatigued with wrestling.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Just on the topic of cardio, Muradov and that fight against Di Chirico, towards the end of the fight, so it's like final 2-3 minutes, I thought Muradov was broken. I thought he was exhausted. His hands were down. The footwork had gone. He was just like this.
Yeah, that's not good.
He wasn't throwing. So there might be a cardio issue there for Muradov.
And is that that's his first fight in the UFC, right?
Correct.
Yeah. Okay, so he outlanded him 54-36. So that wasn't really a high volume fight.
No, it wasn't.
His second fight was high volume, 91. He KO'd the guy in the 3rd round and he got 1 takedown.
I mean, Trevor Smith had nothing to offer in that fight.
Yeah, Trevor Smith's not the best fighter with respect. Yeah, he's not the best. Yeah, I think Floyd Mayweather, having signed this guy, probably says it all. He's claiming he's the best in the world or some shit, but Mayweather knows fuck all about MMA. So
yeah,
he's a boxer. I'm not sure why he signed him. I can only think. I know Mayweather has a few Central Asian boxers in his stable. So maybe one of those guys knew this guy and then put him in touch or some shit. Fuck knows.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think Holland is a lot more advanced, a lot more experienced in the UFC. Makhmud's had a lot of fights. He's fought some decent opposition, but he's also fought quite a lot of tin cans. So
the one thing that concerns me, obviously I'm leaning towards Kevin Holland. The one thing that concerns me, Kevin Holland did have a bit of a rough time with Alessio Di Chirico.
Okay, let's check that out. Let's check the stats out for that fight.
Apparently, there's an issue with Kevin Holland's arm.
Oh shit, Alessio took him down twice as well. See, that's what's worrying about Kevin Holland. He gets taken down, and I'm just so there's no submission threat from Makhmud. His BJJ looks it's pretty much non-existent. However, what I'm worried about is if he does take Kevin Holland down a few times, how tired will he be in it? How much will that zap out of him, given that he has taken it on short notice? However, it's not really short notice, as we said. He's been active the whole year.
Yeah.
but that's the only thing I'm worried about. That and a freak one punch KO, which is also possible.
Yeah,
However, I would say 70% of the time Holland wins this fight.
I think so. I think so.
Yeah.
I mean, we've seen Kevin Holland look really good against Darren Stewart. We've seen him look really good against Joaquin Buckley. Just that fight against Alessio Di Chirico. And yeah, that was what, a year and a half ago? Getting on for 2 years now.
Yeah.
He's probably got better. He just had a bit of a rough time. And I'd like to see that performance be a bit more dominant.
The thing is, what I and if and this is a plea to the viewers, if anyone does know, and you know, our fans are great in that they've helped us before. If anyone knows anything about Muradov's background in terms of wrestling or sambo or whatever it is, because in Central Asia they all do sambo and wrestling, please let us know. So I tried to look into his wrestling because, and the reason why I tried to look into his wrestling is because if you look at these stats, Holland gets taken down. He got Brendan Allen took him down twice. Darren Stewart took him down 3 times, and Darren Stewart is an Englishman. As we've explained on multiple occasions, we do not have wrestling pedigree in this country. He's been taken down 6 times against Gerald Mearshot. Okay, Mearshot is pretty good at BJJ. Alessio De Chirico took him down twice. And I just want to know what kind of background Muradov has. I've seen him take people down, and I've seen him throw people around. The one thing I haven't seen in his fights outside of the UFC is control time. And I think that's pretty significant. If he can take Holland down and wear on him for a few minutes, that last round against Darren kind of worried me about Holland. But I just haven't seen Muradov do that. So I'm still going to say, coming on to official predictions now, 70-30 to Holland, I think.
Yeah, I'm going to say 60-40 to Holland.
Really?
There's just a question mark around the ground game.
Well,
Kevin,
BJJ is more advanced. But then again, it goes back to the whole. Okay, he's got a black belt, but where are his submissions in the UFC? Okay, he submitted John Phillips. I mean, everyone submitted John Phillips.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the only sub he's got in the UFC. So,
But again, I mean, if even a black belt in jiu-jitsu can have a rough time against a wrestler.
yeah, that's the thing. I just don't know if this guy's a wrestler. Some of the moves that I saw Makhmud do on the Czech regional circuit and some of the Eastern European circuits are 100% sambo slash judo moves, as in just grabbing someone by the back and just tossing them over really quickly. And the technique was sambo-esque, kind of. It was judo or sambo. I just want to know what his caliber is in that area. But as I said, he doesn't really control people. He's mainly a striker. He hurts people, and when he gets them to the ground, he goes for ground and pound. And in the striking department, I think he's outgunned by Holland.
Yeah, if it stays standing, yeah, Holland wins 90% of the time, I think. Yeah, I mean, not least because Holland is an inch taller. He's got like a 5.5 inch reach advantage.
5 inch, never been knocked out.
Yeah, so Muradov may just have a hard time just even landing that jab on him.
Exactly. Yeah.
So I'm close. Yeah, I said 60-40, but like 65-35 or 70-30.
Yeah, same here. It'll be interesting to see what the stats are now. Because I suspect a lot of money's going to come in on Muradov from like Central Asia and Russia and so on.
Well, let's have a look, shall we?
So I think it's probably more wise to bet on Holland in a few days' time.
Yeah, maybe. Let's have a look. Okay, here we go. All right, so Kevin Holland is a -150 favorite,
Okay.
and Makhmud Muradov is a +120 underdog. I like those odds for Holland. I do not like those odds for Muradov.
Definitely not. Yeah, and I think the odds for Holland may get slightly better as well
Yeah.
over the next few days. What
So
are you thinking? Are you thinking safe come or risky?
borderline.
Yeah,
Probably the
I'm
risky
just
one.
I'm worried about Muradov's KO power.
I mean, well, let's look at Muradov's knockouts. He knocked out Trevor Smith, but to be fair,
Yeah,
I feel like I could have knocked out Trevor Smith in that fight. Yeah,
and then the other KOs are all in regional circuits. So it's round 1 KO, round 1 TKO KO, round 3 flying knee, round 1 ground and pound, win punches, win elbows, win punches. I mean,
he does have a
all
lot
right,
of them, though.
that's the thing, right? It's
Yeah.
like that other guy from the Czech Republic that you were going on about, Jiri.
Mm.
He KO'd a lot of people in the regional circuit, and you were like, watch out for this guy, and he came in and he just blitzed Ozdemir.
He did, yeah.
Yeah, so there's a pattern. I mean, these aren't the best guys in the world. Some of them have got good records.
They do, yeah.
Some of them have got good records. I mean, there is a pattern here in that he must have serious power. From the fights I've seen, it does look like he's got one punch KO power and he's got really, really vicious ground and pound. But I just don't think he just hasn't faced that level of opposition yet. I mean, this is an impressive resume for someone who's in the UFC. Only 2 losses, and one of them's against Santos, for God's sake.
Yeah, and that was before Santos moved up to light heavyweight, and he was
Yeah,
a giant of a man.
exactly.
Yeah. Yeah. This isn't a sure thing. This isn't a sure thing. But I'm gonna put Holland in the risky come.
Yeah, same here. I'll put Holland in the risky come.
Mm.
Are there any KO stats?
Odds,
Actually,
you
let me
mean?
check. Sorry, KO odds.
Yeah.
Let me check
So,
if.
so yeah, you could hedge this with Muradov. Oh, you're gonna like this. Muradov by KO/TKO 6-1 +600.
Wow. Well, I mean that's because Holland's never been KO'd before.
Yeah.
In his entire MMA career, and Muradov's only been KO'd once. And he's been
Yeah.
submitted 3 times.
I might put a very small hedge on Muradov KO and put Holland in the risky come.
Yeah, I mean, he has a hell of a lot of KOs, dude. TKO, KO, KO, TKO, TKO, TKO.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think I'll do that too. So official predictions, I've got Kevin Holland. I think he'll get a unanimous decision.
So do I.
Yeah.
I mean, it's possible that I'm just thinking about how Tikiriko kind of broke him at the end of the fight. It's possible that Kevin Holland could finish him in the 3rd round. Actually, I'm going to say Kevin Holland finish 3rd round.
3rd round.
Late 3rd round. Yeah.
Late 3rd round. Let me just check if he's. He's gone 3 rounds quite a lot. I'm not sure why he gassed in that fight.
Mm.
But Yeah, I think Holland unanimous decision. Put him in the risky come, and then I'll put a small bet down on a Makhmud KO just because the odds are so good. But I think it's extremely unlikely to happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
Anything else?
No, that's it. We've got to find some more fights to put in the coms.
Yeah. So for everyone watching, which one are we doing next?
You tell me, man.
Greg Hardy. I think we should do that.
Yeah, Greg Hardy's probably one for the safe com.
Yeah, let's do Greg Hardy. So stay tuned, everyone. We're going to cover Greg Hardy against Maurice Green very, very soon. Thank you for watching. Please like, please subscribe. If anyone knows anything about Makhmud Muradov's wrestling pedigree or sambo or whatever the fuck he's done, let us know. Yeah, leave the comments. Again, thank you everyone for watching and take care. Good night.
Bye.
Bye.